Imagine moving into your dream home only to find it falling apart within months. This is the hidden truth about new builds. When I first started investing in real estate, I began buying new builds because I did not want to deal with all the maintenance issues that come with older homes. So I thought, let's get a new build. No issues, right? Wrong. One thing I've learned as I've gotten deeper and deeper into real estate is that new builds aren't necessarily any better than older ones. Especially post-COVID, the corners I've seen builders cut are staggering. It's not just unethical, it's something that feels should be illegal. And this is the reality that many home buyers face, often learning the hard way. The new build that I purchased was from Lennar Homes. The second one I purchased was Lennar Homes as well. And the third one was DR Horton. They say once bitten, twice shy. Well, not in my case. I took the bait 3 times. All new homes, all new builds, and all disappointing experiences. Each one seemed to be made with material that felt like they might have been recycled or leftover scraps. Now, you might be asking that why did I buy them then? This is where experience or lack of it comes in, because I wasn't experienced. I just wanted to buy a house and avoid dealing with all the maintenance. And boy, was I wrong. Just 3 months in, the flooring on the first one started to crack. Anyway, that's probably a story for another time. Let's just say that the lessons were painful and expensive. Recent events underline these concerns. In 2023 alone, lawsuits against big builders like DR Horton and Lennar have surged, with buyers accusing them of poor construction practices, misleading warranties, and even fraudulent misrepresentation. For example, Lennar faced allegations in Texas of improperly installed plumbing that led to extensive water damage in multiple homes within a new development. Homeowners reported flooding within weeks of moving in, only to find themselves tangled in disputes over warranty coverages and repairs. Similarly, DR Horton has been the center of a class action lawsuit in Florida, where buyers alleged that homes were sold with defective roofing and substandard material that failed to meet the building codes. One homeowner revealed that the roof began leaking during the first storm season, causing significant interior damage. The builder, they claimed, offered patchwork solution instead of addressing the root problem. These lawsuits underscore a systemic issue. The drive for profit overshadowed the commitment to quality. And while legal action might provide some recourse, it rarely compensates for the stress and the financial loss homeowners endure. And if you go on Facebook groups or even Reddit groups, you will notice that this is only scratching the surface. The excitement of stepping into what's supposed to be your dream home, the fresh paint, the new countertops, and the smell of the newness in the air. For many, this vision is why they opt for new construction. Everything is untouched, pristine, and ready to be personalized. But beneath this shiny facade, a troubling reality often lies hidden. New construction is not always better, and for many buyers, it can turn into a maze of unexpected costs, endless delays, and heartache. One homeowner shared with me a shocking story about their new build. Within months of moving in, they discovered mold, not in the basement or some neglected corner, but inside the drywall. The drywall itself had been improperly installed, trapping moisture and creating a perfect environment for mold to thrive. Unfortunately, this is not an isolated incident. Someone told me on one of the comments that builders are in the business of making money, not necessarily in the business of making homes. Then labor and material shortages only add fuel to the fire. In today's construction landscape, skilled workers are harder to find than ever before. Contractors who are desperate to meet deadlines often subcontract tasks to underqualified workers. These individuals might be learning on the job, on your job. I was talking to my realtor and she said that they're literally learning their trade on your house. This lack of experience combined with the rush to complete projects often result in cheap workmanship. Foundations are poured hastily, framing is misaligned, and finishes are rushed. The end product may look fine on surface, but closer inspection reveals that corners were cut, quite literally. Then time delays compound this frustration. I've had to deal with these delays recently as well. Builders frequently promise 6 to 8 month deadlines, but those often stretch into a year or even more. One buyer shared their experience of planning their move around the builder's timelines only to find themselves scrambling to extend their lease when the home wasn't finished. The delay wasn't just inconvenient, it was costly. And here's the kicker, even with all these delays, the quality does not necessarily improve. Builders are more concerned with closing deals than ensuring perfection. As one inspector said, I would rather have them take 2 extra months and get it right than to rush and hand over the keys and leave me with a list of repairs. I think we've talked enough about workmanship already. What are some other issues that people are facing with new construction? You will also notice that in the current market, smaller lot sizes and multi-story designs are becoming the norm, as builders prioritize maximizing their profits over creating livable spaces. Buyers are left with homes that may look modern but lack the functionality and comfort of older properties with larger yards and single-story layouts. In states like Texas, where there's so much land, this becoming the norm is disappointing to say the least. Then let's talk about taxes. New construction developments often come with additional fees such as the Melrose tax in states like California. These taxes are used to fund infrastructure improvements such as roads, schools, and utilities for new communities. While that sounds reasonable, it can double a homeowner's property tax. Imagine budgeting for a dream home only to be hit with a surprise bill months later because the county reassessed your property value after closing. It reminds me of the pit fees that I had to pay on 2 of the 3 new constructions that I purchased. Pit fees like Melrose are often tied to infrastructure development such as parks, roads, and drainage systems. They can add hundreds if not thousands of dollars annually to your tax bill. Then location is another factor with new builds. Builders commonly develop in communities on the outskirts of cities where land is cheaper, and it seems like a minor inconvenience at first, but in the long run, the long commutes and the underdeveloped infrastructure can make life in these communities isolating and inconvenient. But despite these challenges, the demand for new construction homes remains high. The reason? Low inventory in the resale market. No one wants to sell their home because of the 2% mortgages that they're sitting on. I mean, who would want to give up a 2% mortgage and buy a new house with a 6% or even a 7% mortgage? So what's the solution? In my opinion, I wouldn't buy a new construction property as a rental again. It just does not make sense. Paying premium for a home only for someone else to live in it and then finding issues in that house. It just feels like a poor financial move. However, if you're purchasing a primary residence, a place where you plan to live for many years and you have saved for the down payment and can comfortably afford it, then going for a new build is not a bad choice. After all, who doesn't love the feel and the smell of a new home? That said, choose your builder wisely. And I repeat, choose your builder wisely. Check their ratings and reviews carefully. After my bad experience with budget builders, I would strongly advise against them. Getting a budget car is one thing, but when it comes to a budget house, the stakes are much higher. Secondly, due diligence is key. If you're considering a new construction home, don't rely only on the builder's assurances. Hire an independent inspector, not just at the end of the project, but at multiple stages during construction. Document everything and don't hesitate to push back if something does not feel right. If I were buying a primary residence today, I would probably still consider a new build, but from a different builder and with a proactive approach to inspection throughout the construction phase. But if it were a rental, well, no chance. I would buy an existing home. Older homes come with a proven track record. They have stood the test of time and they often offer better value for money. Here's my final takeaway. Never underestimate the value of doing your research and talking to others. Whether it's joining Reddit threads or engaging in Facebook groups or just talking to a trusted realtor or lender, these conversations can reveal things that builders won't tell you. A home is one of the biggest purchases that most people ever make, and the cheapest option rarely turns out to be the most affordable. Trust me, I've learned it the hard way. Share your experiences in the comments. I would love to hear your stories.